I am ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 164 of the Naked Tech Podcast. It's a show that gives you everything you need to know about consumer tech, the internet, and all things serial number 8. I'm your friend Jeff Kim.
My name is Kelvin Lee, and I've got to be very careful today.
I told you once, Kelvin. Just be careful with life, It's 2021 now.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, everybody. And didn't January start with a bang? No pun intended. The reason why I have to be careful is because I fixed my microphone, and what I realized is a common problem with the microphones that we have, which is the Yeti Blue microphones, is the jack for the power gets loose over time because it uses a silly USB micro, I think. So if I move too much or hit the table by accident, I might cut off the microphone.
All right, no smashing of the tables tonight, Kelvin.
No getting angry about our predictions for 2021.
Yes, well, that's what we're going to focus on today. It's the first week. I think we're still in the first week, Just. Maybe we'll start off with last year's predictions, Kelvin.
Yes.
You may... So just be careful because you may bang the table. I certainly will. I don't think I have had any problems. We are using the same microphone, so maybe the warning is for me as well. We'll just see.
Don't kill our microphones.
All right, so 2020, so easy to predict.
Yeah.
Back in January 2020. Wow, what a that was a thing, wasn't it, in the before times?
Yeah, actually being positive about something. That was a thing.
Yes, and it's all changed this year. But let's just cover. Let's just set this up because we do this every year. It's a bit of a tradition for us. I think it's for fun, but also I take it quite seriously. Although I have not gotten one right ever. I don't think.
I think that's a sign of a sign of a good prediction.
Okay, roundabout way. So I'm going to start with yours. I don't know if you want to bring it up on the screen as well, but it was actually episode 135. If you want to have a look at that.
You keep talking.
Yeah. So I'll start with mine. So I got to be a little bit careful with this first prediction from last year, but I said the death of Ring doorbell. That was a big bow, just because I just did go to ring.com and it's still definitely there.
It's still there. Damn it.
It's still there, still going strong. I also said dark mode will be a thing, and the way we were going to quantify that was that google.com on your web browser of choice would just appear dark if you have native dark mode on. Another big bound.
Yeah, I think that would have been too much, even though, I can imagine that one change probably saving everyone so much battery because, the brightness of your screen impacts your battery life. Yeah, just maybe the app, maybe the Google app one day will go all dark. It probably does actually.
Oh, no, it does that already.
Yeah.
So the mobile, that's been the case for a couple of years already.
Yeah.
And I think the Android, is Google an app on Android or is it just part of the OS?
It's an app because there are the Samsungs and the OnePluses of the world.
Yeah.
It still needs an app.
So I think this could still happen, but obviously, I think you're right. It'll freak too many people out. Now, I did have a quick look earlier tonight, and there are plenty of plugins and extensions available on Firefox and whatnot to just switch that, but it's not a thing. Twitter.com has actually, like in their preferences, you can actually set it to dark mode, which is kind of cool. And I'll just finish off. I said Apple will buy HBO. In 2020, another people.
Yeah, look at HBO Go, right? I mean, that's not going to happen. Apple might buy smaller streaming services. Who knows, right? They just need content at the moment, so we'll see what happens. I'll go through my predictions. Number 1, Valve will launch Half-Life in the second half of 2020. Nope. Number 2,
23rd of March. I got it on the screen.
Wait, 3rd of March 2021. Is that when it's coming?
No.
It came. Oh,
no, it came out. Yeah. This is Alex.
Alex,
yeah,
we're talking
Alex,
Alex,
the VR
right.
game.
So I was not close. The next iPhone will not have USB-C port, so I was right there. I get a bang bang because I also said Apple will build a gaming device. Uh, that didn't happen. And number three, Project Artemis will launch with a view of putting a man on the moon in 2024.
Launch is a bit of a.
Mm.
I don't think anything launched, as in physically launched. The project launched.
Just trying to be funny there. Um,
Uh,
yeah. So what was their
I
prediction?
mean, that may still happen.
Yeah. What's their prediction
Well,
now? 2025, is that right?
Oh, I mean, that's possible. That's possible, I think. But yeah, it's a hard one to say it's going to happen this year or yeah, in the next 12 months, right? But I think yeah, like obviously the project has launched. They're working on it. I think putting a man on the moon like that took I think 15 years back in the 60s. So we'll see how we go in the current age. Yeah, so yeah, probably grade ourselves a F
Yeah.
for these
Yeah.
collectively.
Well, like they say, bigger and better things in 2021.
Something you did say, because I re-listened to that episode the other day, and you tend to say that my predictions are like for a couple of, or maybe 3 or 4 years into the future. So I was just looking back at our, even further.
No.
2019, I believe I said Apple will announce AR glasses.
What episode was that? Do you know?
That was episode 114,
114. All right, let's have a look.
50 episodes ago.
Oh, I like the cover art. Check it out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, someone made that.
So, 2019 predictions. You said Oculus Quest to be launched in June 2019. Did that happen? Nope. Apple will launch a new iPad mini. I think I got that one right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said AR glasses. Android Q will just be Q. Half a point. Spotify and Audible will. Did that happen? No, I don't think so. Did it? Spotify and Audible will release a choose your own adventure style game / book.
Not exactly to that. I think that was based off the Bandersnatch Netflix show,
which I really enjoyed.
But yeah, so I think my where my head was at was there'll be an audio version of that, but I thought that could work, something interactive while you're commuting or something. But I don't know. If I think about it, like I've been listening to a lot of Audible, and it's a very passive kind of activity. As soon as you're like, if my hands can be allowed to do something, I'll probably be doing that, and not really listening in. So the only time I can listen to Audible books is like when I'm running or driving.
Yeah. So that's not going to happen. My last prediction was Chrome will drop below 50%. Forget it. Market share.
It could happen. I mean, there's been a lot of hate on Chrome, recently. No, it's very, very, very heavy product right now. No? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Go download Dolphin.
Do you want to go first?
2021. Let's do it.
Go first, Mr. Kim.
Oh, okay. We're gonna take turns here. Yes. All right. I'm gonna start with a very. This is almost cheating. I'm gonna start off with a very easy one. So I think this is almost confirmed already. But in 2021, Apple will have 120 Hertz displays on all of their models for 2021.
So
not just the Pros. So that's the little thing I'm going to add there
to make it a bit
because
more exciting.
that's hardly a prediction. It's a little bit like your USB-C prediction, I think, from last year. But I just wanted to get one. Now,
the reason why I think that isn't as safe as you think it is, they don't have to settle on 120. The one thing to take away from the iPhone 12 is obviously 5G. But it's not 5G. 5G isn't perpetually on all the time. It only kicks in 5G when it needs the data output. I don't think Apple will allow you to go 120 hertz all the time because it will kill the battery along with the 5G reception that you're going to get in the iPhone 13, it could be 90.
Mm,
It could be 110. It could be,
okay.
if we're talking about
What's
max refresh rates. It could be 90. So 120 isn't that safe of a bet.
what are the iPad Pros at the moment?
120, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean so I feel like they've been holding back for
Mm,
phones, and I guess, well, I mean, I feel like the community, tech community, are saying this is pretty much in the bag, 120 hertz.
mm,
But I'm gonna say, like, for all four models, if they stick to the pattern of this year, so what, I don't know, there'll be 12S's or 13s.
yeah.
Maybe that's another prediction, 13s instead of 12S's. Um, ooh, 12, 120. Missed opportunity for this
I
year.
know.
But yeah, that's my first one.
Okay. No, I like that. Um, my first one has got a slight Apple sort of spin on it. So as we all know, Apple's new M1 computers based on the ARM architecture has been very well received. So my prediction is that all major PC manufacturers will have an ARM PC. So I'm talking Chromebooks, Samsung, Dell, HP. They've all tried a little something in the past, mainly Samsung and Microsoft, but you haven't really seen the Dells and the HPs of the world um, come up with something that they're marketing quite heavy. So what I predict will happen in 2021 is they will all have a mainstream product line, uh, a laptop mainly on the ARM architecture. And we've spoken about ARM a few times. ARM is basically going to replace, well, it has replaced it for Mac, all the Intel chips that we know of. So at the moment, those chips are based on an architecture that is 30 years old, known as x86. ARM is all new. If you look at your phone right now, it's based on an ARM chip. Hence why there's so much excitement about it, because there's so much innovation and advancement on ARM because they're being used for phones that now people are looking to it for your PCs because, it takes a lot less power to run at the same speeds. So I think, that might happen in 2021. For that to happen,
Right.
though,
So the prediction,
yes.
yeah.
It,
Okay. No, go
for
on.
that to happen, though,
Go on.
Windows will really need to pick up the game. So I've got a quick clip here from Linus just talking about what Windows, and this is from October of last year, in terms of what Windows is doing to push ARM along.
Yes.
Microsoft is planning to solve Windows on ARM's biggest flaw beginning in November. In a lengthy blog post, this is crazy. Microsoft outlined plans for future ARM development, including a new native Teams application and 64-bit x86 emulation support.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. So it's funny how Teams is like it's the number one Microsoft like product now for them. When they think about new things, they're like, oh, Teams has got to work on that. Oh, yes. So what that basically means in terms of x86 emulation is all software developers and publishers will have to retool their software to work on this new architecture, just like everyone is doing for the MacBooks right now, the new MacBooks. So with that emulation, they can actually run their existing software on the new ARM PCs. That makes it easier to develop, but also, you can take your time. Things will still work on these new ARM PCs.
Right. So I think it's called Rosetta. Is that the Mac version of that?
That's right. That's the Mac version.
Rosetta 2.
Correct.
Yeah. The emulation. Interesting. So I'm just trying to sort of tease out the actual prediction you got there. Was that the major manufacturers will have ARM instead of Intel?
Ooh. No, I think they're all going to have an
Chipsets.
ARM line. So I think HP will have an entire
okay.
line of laptops based on ARM PCs, and so will Dell. Because at the moment I can't find anything on Dell or HP. So let's come back in 2022 to see if they have them.
All right. So those are the markers, HP and Dell. Half a point if it's one of the two.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Okay. I will move on to my second one. Now we're going back into space. I thought I'm almost copying you from last year, I know. Uh, so SpaceX late last year, and I did want to talk about this in a separate episode altogether, but I think it was around my birthday, yeah, early December. Serial number 8. I mentioned that in the intro just now. That was the Starship, I guess, prototype of sorts, and there's been 8 up until now. And that was the one that actually launched. It went up to 12.5 kilometers into the sky, and it did a bunch of maneuvers as it tried to slow down because the whole thing is meant to land back to the launch pad. That, as you know, unfortunately did not happen as they had hoped. But the big headline is that the Starship blows up, but this is just a prototype, and they can very rapidly, that's the key word there, rapidly produce these prototypes. So this is seen as a success because he actually went up there, and he was actually very close to landing properly, and they understand why it didn't work properly. So before I tell you my prediction, here's just a funny clip from a guy from Tom Carroll. I just discovered his YouTube channel, obviously, and I quite like his style. He goes into space, general technology as well, kind of up my alley. But he's just going to talk to you about this terminology that the SpaceX and Elon Musk has come up with.
They really do embrace failure as like an opportunity to learn. Even releasing a video a few years back that was just a highlight reel of all of their failures, which are also known as rapid unscheduled disassemblies.
RUD, rapid unscheduled disassemblies, is what it's known.
Explosions?
That's right.
I love it.
If you want to disassemble a prototype, that's how you do it.
Rapidly.
Now, so going into my prediction for 2020, so just be mindful that serial number 9 is launching next week.
Ooh.
So it's that they've been preparing this even before the last launch. Can you call it a launch? I mean, it is a launch, right? They call it a hop. So they'll go again and hopefully maybe go up to the same height or altitude, and maybe it's a successful landing. So they're trying to improve. So my prediction, waffling on a little bit, is that in 2020 there will be a serial number prototype that goes into what's known as suborbital or suborbit. And that's sort of where the International Space Station currently is. That's at 408 kilometers. So I just looked this up, but apparently suborbital range is between 160 kilometers to 1,000 kilometers. So I think they can achieve that, definitely go up there this year. But the trick would be landing it properly. So my prediction is they will be successful in getting up there to suborbital range and landing successfully.
Okay. No, I think that's clear. I think the whole rapid disassembly is going to work against you, but we'll see what happens. I like that one.
I just got a quick follow-up clip from Tom as well, and this might actually, convince you even more.
The pace that they're creating these things is just crazy fast. And Elon Musk has said in the past that he wants to be manufacturing one each week, and maybe even as fast as a 72-hour turnaround. And on top of all this, the first super heavy booster is also already being built, which could lead to orbital test flights as soon as early next year.
So that was obviously last year. Damn. So 2021, maybe March, April, that could, they need the boosters get into that suborbital range. So if they can do that, this is huge. And you're talking about Artemis project.
Yeah.
This could be fast tracked even more.
Hey, let the space race begin. Yeah.
Yes, your second, Kelvin.
My second is Disney Plus will hit 100 million subscribers. So let's have a look in terms of where they're at right now. There is a very small club of streaming services with 50 million subscribers or more.
This is global numbers?
I believe so. So I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. Netflix, Prime Video, Tencent Video, Baidu Video, and Disney Plus. I'm going to exclude Prime Video from this race because all it takes to have access to Prime Video is an Amazon Prime account. And I feel like that's basically half of the US. So I'm going to exclude them. I'm also going to exclude Tencent and Baidu because we know very little about those services. We don't get access to them, and we have no idea what their content is like, even though it does say that you can actually get a Tencent and Baidu video account from anywhere in the world practically. The reason why so Disney Plus is currently sitting at 86.8 million as of, I think, November. The reason why I think 100 million is not easy is because if you look at all the other streaming services with at least 10 million subscribers, you've got your Hulu's, you've got your YouTube Premium, you've got your CBS All Access, you've got your HBO Max, and of course Apple TV Plus. It's not as straightforward as it seems, but because of what we went through with their upcoming library and so many, like the Warner Brothers of the world actually throwing their movies for 2021 on streaming only, it's going to be a big challenge for Disney, even though they have all this stuff coming out from Marvel and Star Wars, etc. So my prediction is 100 mil. And they're going, I don't think they'll surpass Netflix. Netflix is currently at 195 mil. But I would love to see them crack the 100.
I feel like that's fairly easy. I mean, like, if the theory is these people extra 14 million that needs to subscribe in the 12 months, they have to come off some other service, then yes, maybe, because do they add up? Yeah, I just feel like it's more than the sum of its parts. You know what I mean? I think the market is growing.
Yeah.
Especially, globally.
And because I like to do this to myself and throw in bonus predictions, why don't I say, if in 2021, if you add up CBS All Access, HBO Max, which is currently at 30 mil, I'm going to say HBO Max and CBS All Access will hit 50 mil.
Combined.
Let's throw that in.
Yes.
If Disney Plus hitting 100 is too easy, I will say CBS All Access, HBO Max will hit 50.
Well, let's bookmark that page that you got on the screen, and we'll just come back this time next year.
Too easy.
Can evaluate. Too easy.
All right.
It's an easy one. Okay. All right. Staying on theme, Kelvin. My third and final prediction. I'm not sure how to word this exactly, but given the mess of HBO Max and Warner Brothers and AT&T and the bloody telco moguls that just decided to kill cinema. And, a couple of episodes ago, we talked about how the exhibitors, the theaters and the cinemas will likely need another revenue stream. Now, I think last time we also talked about all the things that are coming on Disney Plus. What if? Maybe this is more as a what if than a prediction. But what if some cinema chain? It doesn't have to be America. Probably less likely in Australia, given the market. But somewhere in the world, some cinema chain will have some almost like a subscription service to watch these shows like The Mandalorian in the cinema.
Oh.
Yeah. That there'll have to be some sort of licensing deal with the cinema chains. But I mean, like, Mandalorian, what if you saw that on the big screen? Is it I think it still works. Especially the music.
Yeah, because isn't The Mandalorian oh god. What's that huge cinema called again? The one IMAX. Isn't that IMAX ready? From what I gathered, out of the point. But I see where you're going with. How much would you pay though? Is my question.
I mean, it would be, if it's like a half an hour episode, right? So it has to be quite affordable. Do you think there's a demand? Like, are these more for the people that are not subscribed to Disney Plus already?
I think there'll be demand for marathons. For example, watch the entire season of Mandalorian in the cinema and make it a whole day. I feel like it needs to be bigger than just 45 minutes, an hour, or even half a season or something. It just has to be more than just an episode, I feel.
Maybe a double episode or something like that. Yeah, I was just thinking about how the market will change as a result of HBO Max. Now, like in terms of the prediction, I mean, The Mandalorian probably won't come out till December this year. So, like, I have to pick a show. Like, I mean, what if it was like some of the HBO stuff, the Warner Brothers stuff? That's not really. We don't have a HBO Max in Australia, so will Foxtel have some sort of deal with the cinemas? What if it was that? So maybe the prediction is like some show that's kind of like made for TV will be in the cinemas.
I feel like you stand a better chance of Netflix organizing something because Foxtel isn't known for its innovation in this country. So
whoa, shots fired. We know people that work there, Calvin. They listen.
Yeah, okay, about that. We just lost our one listener. I think for your prediction to work, I think it would have to be a major streaming service to launch a show in the cinema.
Okay, that's a bit of an out there one. I think it's possibly hard to track as well, but I will keep an eye out.
Alrighty, the last and final one for the show. I predict that Google will finally launch its Pixel Watch in 2021. So this has been rumored since the Pixel 3. Google has a Watch OS that it gives out to the like of, Fossil and other manufacturers to use, but it's also not the best. It's pretty bad, in fact. It lags, it doesn't have, good integration with hardware providers, etc. So I feel like it's time for Google to make a dent in a different sort of product line that is dominated by Apple. The Pixel phones didn't really do much in 2020, so I feel like they need a new wave of products. And the Pixel makes sense. What we also see here from the Tom's Guide article is, and I forgot about this, they also bought Fossil, the design watch brand. I think we spoke about this on the show as well. I think it was 133, and what if I remember correctly. So that hasn't really provided a product as yet. Here is some sort of concept art by a designer. It kind of looks quite funky. It's bright. It's playful. I think that is the right market for this. Like, definitely don't go too high end like the Apple Watches because they are quite expensive. But for example, currently right now I have a Fitbit Versa that is not too expensive. It's quite playful. So I think that's the kind of watch you want to put out there that can reach a lot of people. So I think it could be a really popular product. I think if they do what they did for phones when it came to Nexus devices, which was really affordable, and they do something similar for watches, I think it could really take off. So hopefully that happens.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Google bought Fitbit.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Isn't that right?
That's right as well. So
is a prediction like specifically the branding of Pixel Watch?
Yes. So Google will manufacture its own watch, and obviously it'll have Wear OS, and hopefully it costs around $200 USD, which I think is a good price.
Now, would you maybe this is your follow-up prediction, but do you think this will work with an iPhone?
I think I'm going to say yes. Google hasn't always been as precious about its ecosystem as much as Apple. I don't think anyone is when you compare yourself to Apple. So I think it'll work, but the Apple ecosystem will lock it down, just like it locks down Fitbits, etc., from being able to reply to messages and whatnot. So there will be some sort of integration, but it won't be great. Yeah.
Now, I mean, the last I want to say 6 weeks, I've been really loving the Apple Watch with all its integrations. It's accurate. I did. In December, I did have a bit of a health problem, and I was hooked up to all these devices, hospital grade devices, and I was actually comparing. Oh, yeah, heart rate exactly the same. Like,
no way, that's pretty cool.
87. So I believe in the sensors there. Now, the other thing that I'm really getting into, just for my health benefits, is to track everything as well. So even my VO2 max, which they call your cardio score now, that data is quite valuable in terms of how you're tracking, and every like it's almost like instant feedback. It's a feedback loop where you do a run, and you kind of have a feeling of how well you've done in the run, and the cardio score is kind of corresponding in the right way. So like I'm really loving that. Now I'm bringing this up because like Google Health data, some sort of like there's a health app in the Apple ecosystem, but I know there's something similar for Google.
Yeah, it's called Google
Is
Fit.
that as good as
No.
Apple Google Fit?
It's not very rubbish.
Good. Okay.
So the other problem...
So I think that's going to be the killer thing with this watch.
Totally agree. I use Samsung Health because I can put my finger on the back of my S10 Plus onto the camera, and it tracks my VO2 max. So it still comes down to the hardware. If Google doesn't know what phone you're using, whether it be a Samsung or a Pixel or OnePlus, it doesn't know what sensors are available. So that's where Apple will always have an upper hand, because it can integrate everything so tightly, and all the sensors are, they know what the sensors are, so they know what to calibrate the software to, etc. So I don't think you'll ever get that level of integration unless there's an app out there, in 2021 that comes up and says, hey, I've found a solution to sort of tie it all together. But you're right. I think the app is the killer missing piece here.
I mean, I feel like, and I'm maybe talking completely out of hand, but I feel like Google's not really integrating Fitbit. Like it's a separate entity altogether. So I mean, like Fitbit must have like so much data on people right now, up to 1 billion people. Maybe I don't know how popular Fitbit is. I mean, my mum has a Fitbit, right? So that's the litmus test for everything for me. But yeah, like I think Google, can copy Apple in that way, and I think I'm sure they recognize that. But execution wise, it's hard to do.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that is the end of our predictions episode for 2021. If you think you've got better predictions, please tell us on any of the social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also find all the other 163 episodes on our website. That's thenakedtechpodcast.com. And that's Cal out.
And that's Jeff out.
Another year, another set of predictions.
How many have we done?
Since 20...
We would have started.
Let's have a look.
5-6 years ago. Did we start 2014 or 2015?
Well, I'm about to tell you. If I go to 1, does that work? Yes. 2015. 15th of January.
Wow. Is that 6 years ago? 6 years next week.
Yeah.
Oh.
We covered...
It's a lot of episodes.
CES, the LG G Flex 2.
Oh, okay. We covered a lot of stuff.
The trailer for Age of Ultron.
What?
What was that?
Imagine if we still did trailers.
Yeah. Google Glass, will it survive?
There's a prediction.
There's a prediction. On that note, I'm going to stop recording.